Imagine eating one of the healthiest meals you've had all week. Grilled chicken, fresh vegetables, plenty of water. You should feel great afterward. Instead, 20 minutes later, your chest starts burning. Your stomach feels strangely tight. You blame the food. But what if the real problem is something wrapped around your waist? Most people immediately blame spicy food, coffee, or eating too much. But what if the real culprit isn't on your plate at all? It might be wrapped around your waist. A simple leather belt, tightened just one notch too far, can increase pressure inside your abdomen. That extra pressure may not seem like much, but it can change the way your stomach, esophagus, and even your breathing work together during digestion. While a tight belt doesn't cause digestive disease by itself, research suggests that increasing pressure around the abdomen can make acid reflux worse, especially after eating. For people who already experience heartburn or gastroesophageal reflux disease, even small changes in abdominal pressure may increase symptoms. Your digestive system isn't designed to work under constant compression. After every meal, your stomach naturally expands to hold food, while muscles rhythmically move it toward your small intestine. At the same time, a ring of muscle called the lower esophageal sphincter acts like a one-way valve, helping keep stomach acid where it belongs. But when the abdomen is squeezed from the outside, the pressure inside can rise. In some people, this makes it easier for stomach contents to move upward instead of downward. The result? Heartburn, bloating, a feeling of fullness that lasts longer than it should. Sometimes even frequent burping or an unpleasant sour taste in the mouth. In today's video, we'll explore what really happens inside your body when you wear a belt that's too tight, why sitting all day can make the problem even worse, and the simple habits that may help your digestive system work more comfortably without asking you to give up your favorite clothes. Let's begin by understanding what happens inside your abdomen the moment you tighten your belt. Now here's the surprising part. Your stomach isn't actually the weakest point. The real problem is a tiny ring of muscle only a few centimeters long. After a meal, that balloon naturally stretches to hold food, while powerful muscles gently mix everything together with digestive juices. At the top of the stomach sits a small ring of muscle called the lower esophageal sphincter, often shortened to the LES. Under normal conditions, this muscular valve stays tightly closed, opening only when you swallow food or liquids. Its main job is to prevent stomach acid from flowing back into the esophagus. Now picture what happens when a tight belt compresses your abdomen. Instead of allowing the stomach to expand comfortably, the pressure from the belt pushes inward on the abdominal cavity. This increases what doctors call intra-abdominal pressure. While the increase may seem small, it changes the balance of forces acting on the stomach. Think of squeezing a partially filled tube of toothpaste. Pressure applied from the outside forces the contents toward the nearest opening. In a similar way, increased pressure around the stomach can make it easier for acidic stomach contents to move upward toward the esophagus, especially after a large meal. Several clinical studies have shown that external abdominal compression can increase episodes of gastroesophageal reflux, particularly in people who already have GERD or a weakened lower esophageal sphincter. For healthy individuals, wearing a tight belt is unlikely to cause acid reflux on its own, but it may still make occasional symptoms more noticeable after eating. This also explains why many people feel better after simply loosening their belt. Nothing magical happens. The pressure around the stomach decreases, allowing the stomach to expand more naturally, and reducing the force pushing against the lower esophageal sphincter. If you've ever noticed heartburn becoming worse while sitting in the car, working at a desk, or relaxing on the couch after dinner, your posture and a tight waistband may be working together to increase abdominal pressure. But acid reflux isn't the only consequence of restricting the abdomen. The same external pressure can also interfere with how food moves through your digestive tract, leading to bloating, trapped gas, and that uncomfortable feeling of being overly full. Unfortunately, acid reflux is only the first problem. The next effect happens much deeper inside your digestive system, and most people never connect it to something as simple as a belt. Have you ever finished a meal and felt as though your stomach had no room left to breathe? That tight, swollen feeling isn't always caused by the food itself. Sometimes the space around your stomach is part of the problem. After you eat, your stomach doesn't simply hold food, it goes through a remarkable process called gastric accommodation. Think about inflating a balloon inside a small box. The balloon still expands, but every inch of growth meets resistance. Your stomach faces a similar challenge when external pressure limits its natural movement. Specialized nerves allow the upper part of the stomach to relax and gently expand, creating extra room without causing a dramatic rise in pressure. This is one of the reasons a healthy stomach can comfortably handle an average meal. But when a tight belt or restrictive waistband presses firmly against your abdomen, that natural expansion becomes more difficult. Instead of stretching freely, the stomach has to work against external pressure. Although this doesn't stop digestion, it may make some people feel uncomfortably full sooner and increase the sensation of pressure after eating. Digestion also depends on rhythmic muscle contractions called peristalsis. These coordinated waves move food from the stomach into the small intestine at a carefully controlled pace. They are designed to be smooth and efficient, not rushed or forced. External compression doesn't switch these muscle contractions off, but it can make the digestive process feel less comfortable, especially when combined with large meals or prolonged sitting. As food and digestive gases remain in the stomach and upper intestine, many people notice bloating, frequent burping, or a feeling that digestion is taking longer than usual. Swallowing air while eating quickly, drinking carbonated beverages, or talking during meals can add even more gas to the digestive system. If the abdomen is already under pressure from a tight belt, those normal digestive gases have less room to redistribute comfortably, making the bloated sensation even more noticeable. This helps explain why loosening a belt after a meal often brings relief within minutes. The food hasn't disappeared, but the pressure surrounding your digestive organs has been reduced, allowing your stomach and intestines to move more naturally. However, your digestive organs are not the only structures affected by constant pressure around the waist. Hidden beneath the surface are important nerves and blood vessels that also respond to prolonged compression, and their role is often overlooked. Let's take a closer look at that next. Your digestive system doesn't work alone. Behind every swallow, every stomach contraction, and every movement of food through your intestines is an intricate network of nerves communicating constantly with your brain. Scientists often call this connection the gut-brain axis, a two-way communication system that helps coordinate digestion, appetite, and even how comfortable your stomach feels after a meal. One of the most important players in this system is the vagus nerve. It helps regulate stomach contractions, supports digestive secretions, and encourages the body to remain in what is often called the rest and digest state. Now think about what happens after a long day at work. You've been sitting at your desk for hours. Your belt feels tighter than it did this morning. Your posture becomes more slouched. Your breathing becomes shallower. These changes may seem minor, but together they can make your abdomen feel more compressed than it actually is. When breathing becomes shallow, the diaphragm moves less freely. Normally, each deep breath gently massages the organs inside the abdomen, helping maintain comfortable movement and reducing unnecessary muscle tension. Restrictive clothing around the waist may make deep diaphragmatic breathing feel less comfortable, particularly after eating a large meal. At the same time, sitting for long periods naturally slows overall body movement. Although your intestines continue working, physical inactivity can contribute to feelings of sluggish digestion and bloating in some people. This is why many people notice they feel much better after simply standing up, taking a short walk, or loosening restrictive clothing following a meal. It's not because digestion suddenly speeds up overnight. Instead, the body is no longer working against unnecessary external pressure, and comfortable breathing and movement become easier again. Another important point is that discomfort itself can change how you perceive digestion. When the abdomen feels tight or compressed, the brain may become more aware of normal digestive sensations that would otherwise go unnoticed. In other words, the combination of posture, restricted breathing, prolonged sitting, and a tight waistband can create a cycle where digestion feels increasingly uncomfortable, even though the digestive organs themselves remain healthy. Fortunately, breaking that cycle is often much simpler than most people realize. In the next section, we'll look at who is most likely to experience these problems and why some people are much more sensitive than others. Here's something important to understand. Not everyone who wears a tight belt will experience digestive problems. Two people can wear the exact same belt, eat the same meal, and have completely different experiences afterward. The difference often comes down to what is already happening inside the body. People who frequently experience acid reflux or have been diagnosed with gastroesophageal reflux disease, commonly known as GERD, are often more sensitive to increases in abdominal pressure. For For them, even a small amount of extra compression around the waist may make reflux episodes more likely after eating. Another group that should pay attention is people carrying excess weight around the abdomen. Extra abdominal fat already increases pressure inside the abdominal cavity. Adding a tightly fastened belt can increase that pressure even further, potentially making symptoms like heartburn or bloating feel worse. Pregnant women may also notice similar discomfort, although for different reasons. As the growing uterus naturally increases pressure inside the abdomen, tight clothing around the waist can become increasingly uncomfortable. This is one reason healthcare providers often recommend loose, comfortable clothing during pregnancy, especially in the later months. People with a hiatal hernia may also be more likely to notice symptoms. In this condition, part of the stomach moves upward through the diaphragm, making it easier for stomach acid to reach the esophagus. While a tight belt doesn't cause a hiatal hernia, additional abdominal pressure may aggravate existing symptoms in some individuals. Age can also play a role. As we grow older, the muscles involved in digestion, including the lower esophageal sphincter, may become less effective. Digestion may also slow slightly with age, making older adults more likely to notice discomfort after large meals or prolonged sitting. On the other hand, many healthy young adults may wear a belt all day without experiencing any noticeable digestive symptoms at all. The key message is simple. A tight belt is rarely the only cause of digestive discomfort. Instead, it often acts as one piece of a much larger puzzle that includes meal size, body weight, posture, physical activity, and underlying digestive health. The good news is that this is also one of the easiest factors to change. In the final part of this video, we'll look at a few simple habits that may help reduce unnecessary abdominal pressure and make digestion more comfortable every single day. By now, it's clear that a tight belt isn't necessarily harmful on its own. The real issue is prolonged pressure around the abdomen, especially after eating, or while sitting for long periods. The good news is that reducing this pressure doesn't require expensive supplements or complicated routines. Small changes in your daily habits can make a noticeable difference. If you only remember one thing from today's video, remember this: give your stomach room to expand after eating. The first habit is simple. Avoid tightening your belt immediately after a large meal. Your stomach naturally expands as it begins digesting food. Giving your abdomen a little extra room allows that process to happen more comfortably. If you notice your belt feels tighter after lunch or dinner, try loosening it by one notch instead of keeping it firmly fastened. The second habit is known as the two-finger rule. When wearing a belt, you should be able to comfortably slide 2 fingers between the belt and your waist while standing. This isn't a medical rule, but it's a practical way to avoid excessive compression while still keeping your clothing secure. Third, try to take a short walk after eating. Even 5 to 10 minutes of gentle walking can help your body feel more comfortable after a meal. Walking encourages natural body movement and is often recommended as part of healthy digestion. It also reduces the amount of time spent sitting, with pressure concentrated around the abdomen. The fourth habit is to pay attention to your breathing. If your clothing feels so tight that taking a slow, deep breath becomes uncomfortable, your waistband may be too restrictive. Deep diaphragmatic breathing helps the diaphragm move freely and can make the abdomen feel more relaxed after eating. Finally, choose clothing that works with your body instead of against it. Many modern belts, waistbands, and stretch fabrics provide support without creating constant compression. If you spend long hours sitting at a desk or driving, these small wardrobe choices may improve comfort throughout the day. It's also important to remember that frequent heartburn, ongoing bloating, difficulty swallowing, unexplained weight loss, or persistent abdominal pain should never be ignored. While clothing can influence comfort, these symptoms deserve proper medical evaluation because they may have causes that require diagnosis and treatment. Your digestive system works hard every single day. Sometimes, supporting it isn't about adding something new. It's simply about removing unnecessary pressure and allowing your body to do what it was designed to do. At first glance, a belt seems like one of the simplest items we wear every day. It holds up our pants, completes an outfit, and is something most of us never think twice about. But as you've seen today, even small changes in pressure around your abdomen can influence how comfortable your digestive system feels, especially after a meal. A tight belt isn't likely to damage a healthy digestive system by itself. However, for people who already experience acid reflux, bloating, or abdominal discomfort, unnecessary pressure around the waist may become one more factor that makes those symptoms worse. Fortunately, the solution is often surprisingly simple. Loosen your belt after larger meals if it feels restrictive. Choose clothing that allows your abdomen to expand naturally. Avoid sitting for long periods immediately after eating. Take a short walk whenever possible. And most importantly, pay attention to what your body is trying to tell you. Small habits repeated every day often have a greater impact on long-term health than dramatic changes that only last for a week. If you frequently experience heartburn, persistent bloating, difficulty swallowing, or unexplained abdominal pain, don't assume it's just your clothing. These symptoms deserve a proper medical evaluation to identify the underlying cause and determine the most appropriate treatment. Your body is constantly communicating with you. Sometimes, the healthiest choice isn't adding another supplement or following the latest trend. Sometimes, it's simply removing an unnecessary source of pressure and allowing your digestive system to function the way it was designed to. If you found this video helpful, consider sharing it with someone who spends long hours sitting at work or often experiences digestive discomfort after meals. And don't forget to subscribe to Health Unlocked for more evidence-based health insights that help you make informed decisions about your everyday habits. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.